I was talking to Matt, my boyfriend, about this, Matt Ringberg, and he was like, oh yeah, I know Shane. And then we were trying to figure out like how exactly you came into each of our respective lives, and then we determined that you were just a person that just like made your way into the hearts of different like schools, and just everyone knows you. Like we don't really know like how that happened. It's not, nobody knows, but we're just like, everybody knows Shane.
I don't know really. Yeah, a lot of people have said that. I don't really know how that all worked.
Like, did you go to a bunch of school dances or something? Or like
I think I went to a couple. I've went to a lot of school
and you
parties.
were like a hit.
I guess. Here we go. Cheers to you. Thank you.
Oh my goodness.
So I think, well, normally we start out with like some
Ooh.
freestyle rap song, but I think I'm going to make one for each one of these, like this 4-part series.
I'm going to do water too.
Okay, you're good. And so we're just going to start. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And this is Shot 30 Podcast, and I am Shane Newberg. And hey, guess what? This is the start of the 4-part series, Why Guys Don't Get Dates. And today we have the beautiful Katie Hook. You're the very first episode. How do you feel about that?
I am really excited.
Good. And we're excited to have you here. We have a bunch of emails. We have a bunch of things we're going to talk about. We actually have a thinking exercise. You know how like in Pitch Perfect? Have you ever seen Pitch Perfect?
I haven't. It's on the list though.
Oh, Pitch Perfect is solid. Here, let's slide this a little bit closer. You'll be good.
Okay.
But Pitch Perfect, they do like the voice lesson, you know, like the before they go out and sing and
right.
all that. So we're going to get you think about dating, think about men, think about what you think about. This game is going to be played just like this. This will break the ice, get you cool and clear.
Okay. I'm ready.
You have to name the very first thing you think of after I say a few things here.
Okay. Are these in relation to dating? Like, does it need to be within that kind of vein?
It's going to be, yeah, if it's about a man you're dating, about just even thinking about someone else dating, or anything like that.
Okay.
It's going to be very odd. It's going to be very weird.
Okay.
And that's the name of the game with Shot 30 Podcast.
Okay, perfect.
All right, so the first thing you think of when I say beard or no beard?
Oh, beard.
Tattoos?
Yeah, tattoos.
Face tattoos?
No, definitely not.
Chest hair?
Yeah.
Hey, you were ready for that. You were ready for chest hair. Oh, what do we got? Man feet.
Man feet? I neither agree nor disagree. You know, there's only so much you can do with some of the material that you got to work with.
You know, if there's guys out there working construction, they're going to have rugged feet.
Right.
When I worked at the prison, actually, I saw a guy he was on the walk. That means he walks inmates back and forth all day in 100-degree weather on concrete. Mm-hmm. He took his shoes off and literally just skin dropping off his feet. It was like the saddest, like, man, my heart goes out to that guy.
Well, and I mean, there needs to be some basic hygiene involved, certainly, but also if you want a guy that's working hard, you can't be too picky about, you know, the pedicure.
Okay, so I got one more for you. Okay. And this one's going to probably hit your feels. Zac Efron.
Oh, I mean, yeah, that's a hard yes.
Okay, Zac Efron at 5'8".
Did you see my Facebook post about that?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I mean, so 5'8" is kind of pushing it because I'm like 5'6", between 5'6" and 5'7" myself. So 5'8" could get a little awkward in heels. However, he's Zac Efron. You know, their concessions can be made.
Have you seen that new, like, cooking and eating, whatever, that travel show with Zac Efron?
I haven't.
It's absolutely excellent. And it makes you love Zac Efron just a little bit more. And it's really hard to love, like, celebrities right now because it all feels so weird. You're kind of like walking on eggshells. But Zac Efron's a total babe.
I could not agree more.
Man, and then that one where he was with Seth Rogen.
Which one?
The Neighbors one.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Oh, that's when he hardened up those abs. Woo!
Right. Like, he kind of grew up.
Yeah, he went from soaring and flying and dribbling a basketball to, damn, he's kind of a good-looking dude now.
Right. Yeah, so we could do the 5'8" for that, I think.
Oh, I'd make an exception for 5'8" Zac Efron. But Zac Efron at like 6'3", whoo!
Man, nobody else would have a chance. Really.
Oh, man, that's material in every, you know, home cooking and home kitchens and whatever. That magazine of Zac Efron at 6'3" would be in every bathroom.
Deadly.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And cheers to you being here. Thank you so much for this. This is awesome. You were the very first person to message right away. We had a couple right after you, and we're just going to roll right along.
Okay. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm very excited.
And so, first of all, I want to get out there. Shot 30 Podcast is sponsored by Mrs. Newbie's Cakes and Cookies. Mrs. Newbie's Cakes and Cookies, the most beautiful, decorative design delights. Cakes, cupcakes, cookies, all those things. Order them today, Facebook and Instagram. Mrs. Newbie's Cakes and Cookies. You see, like, I kind of got like that whole radio ring to it.
Yeah, you're doing great.
Yeah.
That was very professional.
Okay, so what we want to do with this whole episode, it's about why guys don't get dates. Mm-hmm. Now, do you have any experience of, like, just a really bad, no names need to be used, nothing like that, but just a guy that tried to ask you out in the worst way?
Oh, goodness. I can't really think of any specifics where they, like, just went for it and it was awful. I can think, though, I feel like a lot of women can probably relate to this about the guy that has been in your messages for years and has just some little, hey, how's it going? Oh,
No, you're good. Keep going.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. Just something little, and like they're dated. Like, I even think if I went back on MySpace, it might even go back that far. I have one in particular who just, and at this point, I almost have to admire his persistence.
Oh, absolutely.
But I just don't know what to think about it. Like, am I special? Am I the only one that he's really, like, it's probably as far back as like 2009, maybe even. And it's like maybe once a year, just a quick little, hey, hi, how's it going? So it's not, that isn't particularly bad, but I also, you would think after like year 2 or 3, you'd kind of get the idea that, hey, that's, this isn't working.
Maybe that's just a caring person checking on your well-being for 11 years.
We'll go with that. I feel like he might have an angle, but, yeah, we could say that.
I think most guys always have an angle. And I think from some of the emails and responses, most guys have a solid angle.
Right.
Yeah, so, man, back off, dude. If you're listening to this, back off.
Yeah, like, not, it's almost a feeling of, I wouldn't say pity. He's, like, not an awful-looking guy, but just, like, you got something else to do in your spare time? But I guess, though, just throwing that out once a year, what's it going to hurt? At this point, he knows, like, it's not like it's gonna make anything any worse, Maybe one of these years I'm drunk or something, and I just decide to take the bait,
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
What's a guy got to lose?
The worm's in the water.
Right.
No, I was literally just telling Timmy this story, and it's so funny that you pulled up MySpace because that was our hitter. Mm-hmm. Like, MySpace was our first taste of. There was AOL before that, but MySpace was the first profile pictures, best friends, music, hey, what you're into. And I never was a part of the whole Tinder dating world. I've never been on a dating app, clearly from the emails and stuff. And I do want to say thank you guys for emailing into the show. The email is shot30, then the number 30 at gmail.com. So keep them coming in. That was awesome of you guys. We got 38 messages. And so I was in high school, right? Maybe junior high. I think junior high. And I had talked to this girl. We were talking back and forth for a long time. And then I finally met her at a track meet. And she said, "You look so much better in your profile picture." And I was devastated. I literally was so devastated. I'm pretty sure I cried after I was running the 100-meter dash just crying.
You got to, like, hang in there in the moment. You got to just game face. Like, you can't show her how bad that hurt, but then,
But I just want to tell that woman right now, take a good look at me now. Because she's in prison. Yes. Because guess what? I did the 11-year profile check, and she's in prison now.
Oh, my God. So, who got the last laugh there?
Yeah. I may have been a little bit ugly then, but I'm not in prison now. So I'll take that.
That's so funny.
Do you have any more wreckage of dates? Like, how about a bad date? A good first date? Or no, a bad first date? That never happened for a second date.
Man, I'm trying to think. I guess nothing that sticks out immediately.
we have plenty that we can reflect on in these emails.
In the messages.
Yes.
Yeah, I think I'm kind of picky maybe about who I decide I will and won't go on dates with. So maybe I've kind of done like a pre-screening process. And if it seems like it's going to be horrific, then it's already been. I mean, like I've certainly gone on dates that it was like, I wasn't really feeling that. That wasn't, the thing for me. But nothing that I would say was just, totally out of line or super creepy or.
And you come from a family of beautiful sisters. All three of you, three sisters. I mean, you have two sisters, right?
Yeah.
Anna and Becca.
Yep.
And they're all beautiful.
Well, thank you.
So you have to all share your stories, and they all collab together to create, one idea of what men are and what dates are and where we go from here.
Right. Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure between the three of us, and especially, if like we'd all been here and had a couple shots of Fireball, I'm sure there would be some interesting stories. So
we could do another shot of Fireball if you want.
You know what? Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. This is Shot 30 Podcast. Hey, as I pour these up, we'll slide this over here.
Okay.
As I pour these up, I want to let you guys know Shot 30 Podcast is sponsored by Conspiracy Kimonos. Get your custom-made gi for jiu-jitsu today. Order it on Facebook and Instagram. He's a beautiful guy. He was just on the show the other day. And, that guy probably has no problem getting dates because he's out there doing jiu-jitsu and he's got that fit bod and a good-looking face on him. Visit Conspiracy Kimonos today and cheers to the beautiful Katie Hook.
I did think of, however, in that time, this wasn't a first date, but this was just something that a guy said one time. It was a guy I was dating who quickly I was not dating after this, but he volunteered. I didn't ask. He volunteered that he had never flossed. That he had never flossed.
Like the floss?
Nope, not the dance. That might have been comforting if you'd said I'd never tried the floss dance. Like I can work with that. He told me that the small piece of thread that you place between your teeth for like daily hygienic reasons. He said that he had never flossed ever as an adult, and I'm not sure why he thought I needed to know that. I mean, I'm glad I did. That helped me make more informed decisions. I felt like, but it just felt like a strange thing to like not do as an adult in your life.
Absolutely.
And also a strange thing to volunteer to me,
Absolutely.
like, what do you think I'm gonna make of that? So yeah, not a first date, but that was a questionable admission.
And this may spark you as off the course here, but I have heard what it takes to keep you happy. Tell you you're pretty, make you laugh,
Yep.
and then also tell you that you have something stuck in your teeth for 3 minutes as you pick it out, and then there's nothing actually there.
Yeah. Yes. So for anyone listening, yes, it did make me laugh. So I think that is something that in a guy, if they can kind of give me a hard time, I appreciate that to some extent.
Absolutely.
As long as they don't go too far. Kind of like the girl that said you were better looking in your pictures. Like, I don't want that far. I don't need that brutal honesty. But yeah. So my current boyfriend took me out on a date to a very nice restaurant for my birthday. And yeah, he was very sweet. He always is. He told me I'm pretty. He fed me, and then at one point he told me I had something in my teeth. And then he proceeded to watch me try to get that out discreetly at this nice restaurant for several minutes before then finally admitting that there had never been anything in my teeth.
It's a great move.
And I found myself in the strange position where I liked him more because of that.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
I know.
It's a great
It's a
move.
fine line, though. You really got to watch that, but it worked in this case. So.
It absolutely did.
Yeah.
And that's a shout out to Matt, dude. Mm-hmm. And he seems like, going through your page, what a sweet, sweet guy. Like, he really seems like a true sweetheart.
Yeah, he's wonderful. Like, even just this morning. So last night, my air conditioning in my vehicle, it has less than 60,000 miles on it. My air conditioning randomly stopped working.
Was that the Fireball talking right there?
I think it might have. I told you I never drink, Shane. You're gonna have me at your house for like 4 hours. But anyway, so he actually, before I was even awake this morning, he was at my house with some coolant, trying to see if that was the problem, just checking out my vehicle to make sure it was safe to drive today. And it turns out I just ended up, for comfort reasons, not taking it because the air wasn't working. But yeah, this morning, if we're talking about what does get guys dates, it's stuff like that. You know, coming to my house. He lives an hour away. In the morning, he stopped by, picked up some coolant, and was there to make sure my vehicle was safe.
What a sweetheart. Man, that's a hard shout to him. Hey, our last shot was to you because, hey, if I give Katie another shot, she's going to be staring off into the distance, not knowing what's going on.
Yes, it would be useless.
We're going to take a dive into some of these emails, but first I want to say thank you to Jerome Lovely. Have you ever heard of Jerome Lovely?
I haven't. I like the name, though. It sounds like a stage name almost.
Oh, it's way worse. Hey, Jerome Lovely is a male escort service coming out of the Chicago Quad City area. And it's not prostitution. It is an escort. Someone to take you to a date, someone to have fun with, you know, just go out and see a baseball game, a movie, something like that. Jerome Lovely, visit them on Facebook today and get your male escort. Beautiful men part of that group.
Whatever that means for you, I guess.
Yeah, I've never partook. So
maybe you should consider it.
It's never popped in my mind, but all right, we're going to dive into one of the first emails. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm excited.
I can tell you the number one way to not get a second date with me. Chew with your mouth closed. I had a first date with a guy, and halfway through the meal, I made an excuse that I had to leave right away. In reality, I was about to throw up all over the table. Gross. Becca.
Becca, is that like my sister, Becca?
I don't know, but Becca, thank you for sending that email in. And I have a friend who eats like that, so I know exactly how that looks.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know that I've ever encountered that. Again, maybe the pre-screening process kind of filtered out people that might be that abhorrent. But yeah, I think they'd really have to have a lot of other positives on their side for me to not consider that a disqualifier.
I mean, to dive into a bowl of salad and now, if you know what, like, Joe, I'm talking to you. I don't care. I'll throw you out.
Is that the friend?
Yeah. Dude, Joe will grab a bowl of salad. He'll put so much ranch all over the top. Like, where's the salad? It's just all white and little speckles. Joe will put so much ranch on the salad, and when he eats it, it just winds up all over him. And every single time I look at him, I go, dude, what are you doing?
Is Joe single? Like, how's this gone for him?
Joe is married and has two beautiful, beautiful children.
Wow.
And I don't know how, because
like, what else does he have
the
going
way
on?
he eats that food, it's incredible. But he does have a lot of great qualities, and I love that guy. So, Joe, eat your food cleaner. God, man.
Yeah, that certainly wouldn't be a turn on, I'd say. I mean, not an immediate disqualifier, but
I mean, you could taste it, like, if you go to, like, kiss his chin later on in the night, you get a little ranch.
Right.
Little, like, a small slit of a carrot.
No thanks.
A little mozzarella.
No, thank you.
Probably a little tomato down the chest somewhere.
Ooh, is that a crouton?
Girl, crouton. It's not even soggy yet. So, shout out to not having sweaty chest while you're eating your croutons. Because oh, Lord. Okay, here's the next one. All right, this one's from Anonymous. What would you do if a guy insisted you meet his mother before he went on a date with you?
Oh.
Ooh, the beforehand. What are we, 4?
Right. Well, and I think, in my opinion, like, that's kind of a risky move, because if he hasn't met me in person, like, how do you know I'm not nuts? How do you know I'm not subjecting your mother to some, in that case, I might just turn it up a notch and just be really crazy just to prove my point,
Oh, yeah.
You need to be taught a lesson. Like, yeah. And then, like, does he still, I feel like then, like, is mom going to be part of every decision from now on? Does she still, like, make you a PB&J and cut it into hearts? Like,
come over and vacuum your house.
Right. Like, do you do your own laundry? Can you hard boil an egg on your own kind of vibe? So, I mean, again, for me, there are very few things that are, like, well, there are definitely some, but that are hard disqualifiers, like, right away, I would say nope. But that is definitely going to raise a red flag, and I'm going to pay a lot closer attention in that case. There's going to be some questions.
Absolutely. That's a weird thing.
Right.
I mean, I do know some people with the mommy treatment.
Right.
I need to, let me ask my mom first. Or, hey, if I'm going out of town, I got to tell my mom. That's a weird, If I'm a woman in that, I don't know.
Right. And, like, I like how that person remained anonymous, you
that
know?
One totally did.
I wonder if that was a personal experience. Like, I want to talk to her. What happened to you?
Oh.
You know?
Yeah, that's muddy water right there.
Right.
It's muddy water. You know, the mommy issue can be a big thing. And, I mean, it's... A lot of people have that problem still today. You know, you need the approval to do this or do that. So what we were talking about right before we had a power surge, we'll go with a little power surge, a little power blip, is that we should be walking around with a circle light as or a filter, a lifelong filter. If you could walk around with that,
right,
and that just kind of ties right back into why guys don't get dates. If a guy could walk around with those filters,
perfect.
Ooh.
Right.
Yeah. So should we get back into these emails? That was kind of a weird little blip. And I had to tell Matt, I'm sorry, man. She didn't know she was going to have all these shots. She didn't know she was going to have all these drinks. So I'm sorry, bro.
I don't know that I've ever taken 2 shots of Fireball ever in my life. So yeah, this is...
So today's a great first day to do it.
Why not? You know, it felt right.
It did for all of us, I feel like.
I think so, too.
Cheers to you.
Let's follow that up with some Truly.
Yeah, you're so right. Why did I do that? I should have cheers the water. All right, I've got 2 more episodes to do today. Yeah.
You know, good luck.
I know. The first one I had to chase down the street because she drove too far.
No, I knew where you were. I just didn't know where to park. I didn't want to inconvenience anyone. So, yeah.
Would that be if a guy came to pick you up and said, "Hey, I parked a block away because I was unsure of your neighborhood." would that be a no date?
I think it wouldn't be a no date, but I would need some further explanation, I think.
That's what I need from you right now.
That's fair. We can go into that after the episode.
Okay, so this one is just titled, "Hey Shane," but I am really pumped up about this episode. A little bit of a twist here. For 3 months, I was working up to asking out my next door neighbor. She had broken up with her boyfriend,
cute.
and I had helped her with her car on numerous occasions. One night, I get a text from my brother. "Hey, look out the window." My brother was smiling, naked on the phone, looking at me from her window. FML. Sincerely, the better brother.
Like, I didn't even hear a question in there, really, but...
I think that's just a story.
Oh, man.
So the brother...
swooped in.
The brother swooped in, so he must have went to his brother. Dude, there's this beautiful woman next door.
Newly single.
Oh, that brother's an asshole,
right.
Man. Your brother sucks.
Right, man.
Sorry about your brother problems.
Right.
That's a weird thing. Your brother's standing there naked, damn.
Like, under any conditions, even if your brother was the only one in that house, I'm not sure how happy I'd be about that visual, you know?
Yeah. And there's a lot going on in that story.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on in that story.
A lot to unpack.
I think that guy should take a shot with Shot 30 Podcast, man. I think you should do that.
Yeah, come hang with us.
Yeah, dude. We'll find you something better than that. But your brother did win that bout.
Yeah, I don't know that I have any advice as the woman in that, but I would say, so kind of going back to like my relationship currently, I think that even if you don't think you have a shot, just go for it. Matt tells me all the time that he was under the impression that I was out of his league, and like turns out not the case. Totally into it, you know? So I think in that case, you know, if you're thinking that at all, like, don't be creepy, obviously, but you know, let her know. Go for it. And I mean, with the understanding that at any point that could lead to potentially a little hurt ego for yourself, but try it, because I mean, they're brothers, like they probably look somewhat similar, you know, like that maybe could have been you if you'd just gone for it, you know? Would
you think that there's in most cases the better brother? I mean, you have 2 sisters. Do you think there's a better sister?
I don't know, like if they hear this, if am I allowed to say that? I think it really depends on.
Do you think you're the better sister?
I mean, no. So I mean, it really depends on preference. Honestly, I think
everybody's taste is different.
Yeah, like I think I agree with you. I don't think that there's any one of us that is a bad looking, individual, but I think it just depends on, kind of what your own personal preferences are. So I don't know. So maybe in this case, that neighbor, I don't know what her preferences were, but hopefully not a twin brother. That'd be kind of an extra layer of pain there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So what we got out of that is she thinks she is the best sister.
For the record, I did not say that, but I also didn't deny it. So for whatever that's worth. That's
got to be a little rough spill, man. That's a tough pill to swallow. But I do know, if you look it up, they've done like research on it. Like almost 70% of men haven't asked out the one woman that they've wanted to ask out. Mm-hmm. Like the number one time they wanted to ask somebody out, they didn't. So 70% of the time. And that's probably because 70% of the women were taken, but right. Who knows?
Right, yeah, there's that element. But you know what? I mean, occasionally they're not happy in that. You know what? Like, I mean, you don't want to irritate the other men either. You got to play that kind of by ear too. But
yeah,
as long as you think it's safe, I mean, shoot your shot.
Yeah, absolutely, shoot your shot. I mean, what would MJ do? Shout out to the last dance. We started watching that. Have you seen that at all?
Is that The Last Dance?
That's that Michael Jordan documentary.
No, I have not.
Yeah.
Should I?
I don't know. I'm only on the first episode. It usually takes me a long time to get through an episode because, it's Shot 30 podcast. So by the time I get done with doing an episode, it's like Shot 32 mini.
Right. Yeah. I understand.
So what advice would you give to men other than shoot your shot? That's a good piece of advice. Just give it a try. But what other advice would you give to men of why guys don't get dates or how they could? Clearly you like it when guys are charming and funny, and I think most people do.
Yes. Yeah, I think sense of humor is huge, and kind of like don't force it, so maybe there's a girl that you're into, you think she's good looking, but once you kind of get to know her, say you do initiate the conversation, you start talking to her, if it seems like you're not compatible, like she's going to be feeling that too,
Absolutely.
So I'd say if it seems to be really easy, it seems to flow really well, you guys seem to be kind of exchanging jokes, then again, kind of like the advice that I'd given earlier, even if you think this girl's way out of my league, go for it, like ugly guys out there, there are girls that are into ugly guys, like I promise.
And an ugly guy could be really sweet, or
right.
There's not to like throw it out there, but there's people that single mothers and things like that. Maybe they look at the heart and soul before they look at
right. Maybe the looks, Zac Efron.
Yeah, the Zac Efron.
Yeah, I definitely think, like give it a go. Again, like be prepared because there's still a chance that maybe you're right. Maybe that wasn't what she was looking for one reason or another. But I think feel it out. If it feels like there's a genuine connection, then go for it. You might be surprised.
Absolutely, and I think a lot of the times too, there are statistical men, is that the word? I don't know. Let's just make it, put it in the dictionary.
I'm not really sure. I don't know that I'm qualified right now to make any vocabulary.
I don't know. I feel the same way. But there are also women out there too that could be the reason why you don't have a date is maybe a blessing for you, because that woman could have a lot of issues as well, wants you to be this perfect man, and you don't have to be the perfect man. The perfect man doesn't, for a woman, a perfect man doesn't have to be perfect. It's how you are and how compatible. Like I completely agree with that.
Right, definitely. And again, just referencing my current relationship, I feel like there are plenty of places where, I could say maybe something that wouldn't work for another woman, like probably a lot of women would not appreciate being told they have something in their teeth for 3 minutes before being told like that's not even true. But just again, the compatibility component was there. And so we kind of knew, like, we can joke with each other like
absolutely.
that. He knows I'm going to think that's funny. So, I think just kind of feel it out. And I know it sounds maybe kind of hokey or tacky, but like, you'll know, it'll feel right. It'll feel natural. It'll feel easy, especially at first. Not that, in a long-term relationship, obviously there's lots of work involved. But I think at first, like, you'll both feel it, So just kind of give it a go.
And I think a lot of people, they have this idea of what a perfect relationship is. And that's the only goal.
Right.
I think the perfect relationship is find someone that you can look at as your best friend,
right.
And, go literally wake up on a Saturday morning and next thing you know, you're 2 states away from you doing the dumbest, eating a hot dog at a hot dog stand that looked cool on Facebook. Or, you went to a movie at a drive-in theater and, snuck in a little bit too much Fireball. Just stuff like that. That's the best. If you can have little small moments like that throughout every single day of your life.
Right.
I think that's where it's made the best. It's not always going to be who has the biggest butt or boobs or who's the best looking guy with the most ripped abs, even though, Zac Efron, we all know you're perfect.
Right.
We all know you're perfect.
If you're listening.
Yeah, if you're listening, dude, come on the podcast. I'll give you a koozie and a car decal.
Yeah, well, and I think even, like, to the women listening right now, like, just a heads up, just a shout out, kind of the same message, like a guy that maybe you do feel like you connect with, but maybe doesn't check all the boxes in terms of, there's got to be some level of attraction, obviously.
Absolutely.
But maybe he doesn't check all your typical boxes. Like, give him a try. Maybe you have a ton of fun with him and think about what the value of that is every day of your life, potentially,
And it's just a date,
Right.
What we're talking about is just a first and second date. How do you get there? How do you find yourself moving forward with a person, and what do men do that stop that from happening? And men do a lot of weird things. Yes. They say a lot of weird things. They act a very different way. If you catch a man who is hanging out with one of his best friends, and the way he talks about a relationship compared to the way he treats his woman, you're looking at 2 different worlds.
Right.
Have you ever met a guy like that?
Well, and social media to me, I think is very telling. Like, if I was looking at dating a guy, one of the first things I would do is go and check his social media. So
Absolutely.
I'm going to go check and see, and maybe go look at, like, I'm friends with a lot of the other women in my area in our age bracket who, like, I know they're cute, I know they're single. I'm gonna see how many of their pictures they're liking. If I, and a lot of times I already know, like, a guy maybe is interested and I'm like, I see you liking everyone's pictures all the time, and to me, again, that's not a hard disqualifier, but I'm gonna kind of keep that in mind. Like, for me, that kind of makes it feel like this guy might be sort of a player.
Yeah, or just maybe weighing 2 options, things like that. That's
yeah, there's potentially that, true. And again, that's why, give him a chance. Maybe once he's settled down, he'd just be liking your pictures, but I don't know, it just a little red flag, just something to pay attention to, kind of.
Absolutely. I think that's 100, and I think that you would be doing a disservice to yourself if you didn't do that. Right. The blind eye leaves the door open in a lot of cases. And a lot of men will jump on that as fast as they can. Not saying that all men are like that, but it's just a thing that's turned into today's world a lot more than before.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Social media is very crazy. Social media is now a way to, especially some women and men, they go to social media, even in a relationship, and they will instantly start bickering about, okay, I'm getting so scatterbrained here, but the way I want to say this is, if you have a fight with your girlfriend, that doesn't mean things are done. Why would you post that on social media? Leave that between yourselves.
Right. Oh, yeah. That's another thing on social media. If I see any trace of drama or, like, airing your dirty laundry, like, hard no. And even, like mentally, I have an archive of guys who I've seen do that ever. You know, guys who maybe at the time were in a relationship, I was in a relationship, they are blacklisted, honestly. Like, that's not something I ever want to be a part of, even if maybe you've grown and changed. Like, I know at one point you were capable of that. I want nothing to do with it.
Yeah, that's such a dark place to be. How can you... man, if your relationship doesn't mean that much to you, how do you get there to where you're bashing, in a sense, even if it's not like that... My life sucks again. Like, I hate those Facebook posts. Those are literally Facebook, Instagram, all those Twitter. My life sucks again. She left me again. Right. Well, if you think she's going to come back, how about you just hold up?
Let's just wait.
How about you just talk to her and you handle all that together? Or to roll back to where we were, how about you just go ask your mom? You know,
she's such a big part of your life.
Yeah, go ask your mom since she's such a big... Or, in the other case, don't go ask your brother because you know what your brother's going to do.
He's about to swoop in, right? Yeah, I think for me it's kind of a judgment issue, honestly, and a maturity issue. Like, if I go to a guy's Facebook, I think ideally it's going to be... I don't want to see selfies, really. Like, not many, anyway. You know, if there's a few here and there, like...
what if it's Zac Efron's page?
Oh, man. I mean, that's a different thing. We got different standards.
Oh, you flicked the hair for it.
I didn't even realize I did that. Yeah, there's different standards, so just a heads up. But, yeah, barring being Zac Efron yourself, I mean, for the most part, like, selfies... And even, like, I hold the same standards for myself, I think. I try not to throw too many selfies on there as, like, profile pictures, you know.
You threw a selfie on there the other day for your 28th birthday, and happy birthday to you.
I did. Thank you. I thought it was cute, you know, just to throw a little brag on there. But
you can always post a selfie on your birthday.
Right.
Absolutely.
Just every once in a while, you
know.
Felt
cute, might delete later.
Yeah. Right. Except in that case, I was like, felt cute. I'm not deleting it. I know it's cute. So.
Yeah, it's your birthday. Hey, if you're posting a selfie every day and then giving your life description, that might be a little excessive. Right.
Red flag. But, like, so for me, like, almost the one exception I can think of immediately, which I don't know may relate to your life, like, is if guys who lift, I feel like that's something that, like, documentation is kind of important and you've worked really hard for that. So as long as they're not too douchey and you don't say anything weird in the caption and they're not, like, every day, you know, like, I think that, to me, I can kind of respect that, you know. But just, you know, your random guy who's just posting a selfie and all of his profile pictures of that, like, as if he never goes and does anything else, that's I'm gonna question that.
I want to say thank you for flattering me that you would think that I lift still.
Yeah.
But it's been a very long time since I've lifted.
Well, I didn't, you know, you keep that base kind of.
Yeah, I keep the base, and now the base is sinking down. And so now I've got a bigger base down there.
You know, 2020 is hard. So.
Dude, it's rough sailing. But I think this is awesome. And I honestly think that you'd be great if you ever wanted to come back and do another episode.
Okay.
We're right at 40 minutes, and I think it'll be perfect.
Okay.
If you have anything, I know that you have a couple of people that are looking for some help. I've seen on your page, if you want to shout out those, some people that were looking for some help on some financially.
Oh, yeah. No, so I had recently posted a very good friend and former coworker of mine, Becky Salmon, Salmon. So she was a CNA for me. I'm a registered nurse. So she was one of my aides at a hospital I worked at. She had severe COPD, which is a respiratory disease, makes it really hard to just breathe really a lot of the time. But even through that, she continued to take excellent care of all of our patients. Anyway, she, working in a hospital setting, contracted COVID-19. And has really had a very hard time with it because of her underlying medical conditions already. So she does have a GoFundMe, and I clicked on it through a link from her daughter, so I'm not sure exactly how you'd access that right off the top of my head. But on GoFundMe, her name is Becky Salmon, like I said, Salmon, and right now she's out of work because of the complications from that disease, and I think she's helped people her whole life. I think she could really use financial help right now. If $5 I gave some money for her, I can't think of anyone more deserving right now.
Absolutely.
So
go to that GoFundMe, Becky Salmon.
Yes.
please go to that. And do they have, if you want anybody to follow you, you want to attach any links?
Oh, goodness.
Tags?
I don't know. I mean, my Instagram, I guess, is khook, just KHOOK, like a fish hook, 92. If you want to follow me on there, it's mostly pictures of me and my kid and our cute little puppies. So if that's the kind of content you're here for and into, you can follow me on there. So yeah, that'd be kind of the main one, I guess.
Okay. And this is Shot 30 Podcast. Shot 30 Podcast is available on Apple Podcasts, Castbox, Stitcher, all those things. And the YouTube page, hit subscribe, like, share, subscribe. And Katie Hook, thank you so much for being here. This is part 1 of Why Guys Don't Get Dates. So tune in. This is going to be every Sunday. It's going to be an every Sunday thing. And hopefully Katie can sober up, because I might pour another shot down her throat.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you for being here so much. This was awesome.
Yeah, this was so much fun. So if he asked you to be a guest on the show, like, do it. I didn't know what this would entail. I was kind of unfamiliar with this space, but so much fun. So
this was fun. And now you got to sign that board and put that name on there and put yourself in concrete on the floor of Shot 30 Podcast.
Yes. Thank you, Shane.